Hey gang, happy Friday. I have your video update for today and lots more information going to be pasted in the Humanity training for you to read, including some new SOPs that we wanted to put up there to bring everybody into the know about some new processes. So make sure you look at the whole thing. But these are the headlines. So we have a couple upcoming events in the next 2 weeks that I wanted to remind everyone of. May 1st, we have our town hall meeting. We're going to have 2 sessions of it. Again, this is a mandatory meeting, so you have to make one of the sessions. And you should check with your scheduler to make sure that you know which session is going to fit best with your schedule that day if you're working. If you're not working, you can attend either session. Again, there will be 2. One's at noon until 1:30 and the other's at 5 until 6:30. So for both sessions, for the working teams that day, that will encompass your lunch even if it would have occurred at a different time. So let your scheduler know which session you plan on attending. Make sure you clear it with them. If you absolutely can't make the meeting, let me know in advance so that we can be sure to either record it for you and get you access to that immediately, or if you want to attend remotely, we can make it a live session for whatever time that you'd be available. But you have to coordinate those things ahead of time. So just make sure to let everybody know what your plan is. We have a few new hires to welcome this week, specifically 2 team members that we're welcoming back, which I think is just the coolest thing. So welcome back Nina Babin and Ronikia Johnson, who starts on Monday. And then also welcome to the team for the first time, Morgan Darcy. We are still hiring for a lot of positions. So if you know any good team members looking to start a new career, let us know. Refer them to work here. We've got positions in many departments, especially in the nursing team, and they're not just overnight positions. So we're hiring for a lot of different things. And remember that for existing team members who refer new applicants, that there is a little reward process. So get that going as soon as you can. I love to meet people in public and see them giving great service in their current careers and try and recruit them that way. So Laura has some great hiring cards if you need to take a couple of those to keep in your wallet and just pass them out when you see the right opportunity. That's always a good move too. I wanted to remind everybody also to continue assisting clients with that Zoetis rebate. We started this week. It's going well so far. And we want to make sure that everybody gets that and knows how to assist a client with that. So go and refer to the other training if you haven't done that. It'll bring you up to speed. The only detail that we realized, or we kind of stumbled across as we started, is that the Convenia for the dogs size 0 to 10, there's no rebate for that, or for a cat. So those would just not be included even if they're purchasing that product. There's just not a reward for it, so you wouldn't want to start a rebate for that. But everything else is working well. Convenia, Simparica, ProHeart, Revolution are the main products that you would focus on there. And again, just know that process from looking at the training. One other thing that we want to make sure that everybody's aware of, exciting news, this is a biggie. We are finally getting to update our AVImark system. This weekend, they have released a beta testing update. So there may be some little kinks that come out with it that we'll have to work out. But it's supposed to specifically address the speed of our system, which I know has been a thorn in our side for longer than we'd like to reminisce on. But I'm really hopeful in this. This is what we've been waiting on, that this will solve some of our speed issues, specifically regarding Whiteboard. And I feel like once we address speed with Whiteboard, we can actually address if it's working or not. So that'll be something that we continue to look at after this update and that we see available. So make sure that anytime that we do an update, make sure that you're aware glitches are not to be expected. You want to report those things immediately. And the best thing to do is, like, if you get an error or if you get something not working, I know that y'all all have your phones, snap a little picture so that we can record whatever error code that there is, and then send that to the manager on call if there's no manager in the office, and we will get to work on resolving that pretty pretty immediately. We don't want there to be any roadblocks on that. So just make sure that you either snap a picture of that, write down the error code. If you're working in a specific client record and something's not working for you correctly, write down that client record number. All those specific details really help us to go back to that moment in time and figure out if this is a whole system glitch or if there's a specific problem that we need to work on. Everything counts, so make sure you do that. It's very helpful. One of the next things that I wanted to talk about is as we get busier, we tend to have trouble fitting clients into our schedule. And especially after hours, it seems like we'll take on a lot of routine care earlier in the evening and save all the non-routine care for the very end of the day. And it can cause some kind of bottlenecking. And basically, we're not always able to serve every client and every patient for exactly what they need, and in turn have to turn them away or refer them out because we're bogged down. So at our town hall meeting, I want to talk a lot about smart scheduling and making sure that we're all on the same page with that. But right now I wanted to talk about a process for turning clients away, meaning that we have to tell them in their phone call or upon arrival that we're not going to be able to care for their pet. This is not something anybody should take lightly. It's definitely not even in our core values that that's something that we have to do. But sometimes we have to if the pet needs more immediate care than we think we can offer. So I want to measure how frequently this is happening. I think it's good to keep everybody honest, and I think it's good so that we can refer back and grow as a team and make sure that we're putting the right people in the right places on our schedule to make things happen as we promise our clients that they will. So what I'm going to ask for you to do is, if you are responsible for telling a client that we're not going to be able to offer the services that they're asking for, I want you to make a work list and send it to me. Make it right from the client record. Describe the situation as well as you can. Describe how the client responded. Add any details that you can add. Put it in my work list, and then I'm going to make a log of that so that we can track the frequency that it's happening, try and look back and learn from those circumstances, and ultimately the whole goal is to make a schedule to where we don't ever have to do that, and we have the right people in place at the right time. If you have questions or concerns, or you don't think that a work list message is going to do that justice, you definitely want to come talk to your supervisor or to me so that we can make that happen and smooth out any kinks that we have. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, also on a very serious note, is we have had an increased number of bites. And I think this is something that we have to continue to talk about and train about with the team. But I couldn't go another day without addressing it and bringing it to everybody's attention. Specifically, we've had 3 team members bitten by dogs in the last 3 weeks. And that's a higher number than ever before. And it's scary because some of these are really serious. I know that most of our team knows that Eileen was bit by a dog, and her infection was so bad and so immediate that she ended up hospitalized for 4 days following that. That's nothing that we ever want for anyone, any team member, any client, any patient. It just makes for a horrible circumstance. It's dangerous. It's expensive for our company. And so we just really have to get together as a team and figure out how to stop this. I really think that a lot of it involves better training on restraint. And most immediately, I think something that we can all do is try to eliminate any distractions when you're responsible for any kind of immediate patient handling. So let that be your lesson that sinks in for you right now. Your takeaway to start immediately on is trim out the distractions out of your mind when you're handling a patient. Don't worry about that next task that has to happen. Worry about the one at hand, which is keeping yourself and your supporting team members around you safe. Whether you are handling a pet in the bathing area for one of those services, or whether you're in an exam room, or you're prepping for surgery, or you're treating a pet in the hospital. All those situations put a patient equally in an uncomfortable situation, and therefore you have to be ready to respond to those. So eliminate distractions. Specifically right now, I'm anticipating that one giant distraction is cell phones and smartwatches, that people are distracted by looking at those things and take their eyes off the patient. Another distraction is that we are not communicating about what we're doing to a patient and what reaction that may elicit from that patient. We have to talk as a team, and we have to eliminate any other distractions around us while we're doing that. So start to work a little smarter on that sense, and let's prevent any more injuries to team members while we can help it and while we wait on organizing some training to do better about that. We have more to come. Make sure that you finish looking at the rest of this training, read the SOPs, and bring yourself up to date. And make sure that you get ready to come to the town hall meeting. The next event to follow that we'll have is on May 7th. Dr. Mark is going to do our senior pet care certification. That's actually the certification for the month of April that we couldn't fit in. So we'll have another one to come later in the month of May as well. But mark your calendars for that, and we'll be excited to see you there. Thanks, and have a great weekend.